what now, big? Where we at? Isaiah?
26.
Yes, sir. Let's get right to it. That's easy. We all get 75. Give it up. 777. That's dope. Okay. Okay. Yo, I don't. It's sometimes okay. It's like future self, right? It's like sometimes it's like, did somebody know? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody knew. The Most High knew. The Most High knew. You had to know, and it's okay. It makes sense. You up, shoot?
I'm on the wrong chapter.
Grab something to drink. God, Mount Joe, hold on.
The preferred order today.
Okay, I'm up. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go middle? Who wants to go last? Eat now. Forever hold your peace.
You know what? I'll go first.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
Wow.
about. Stepping up to the plate this week.
Wow.
Soul Food Saturday Sunday. He said, I've been sitting out for a long time. Might as well do this. Y'all gonna love me for it too. All right, Big, where you going?
I guess I'll go second.
Let's do this. Oh, gotta hold down the tail end. Boom.
Alright. That day, the song is sung in the land of you have a strong city. He sets up deliverance, walls and ramparts. Open the gates, let the righteous nation which guards the truth enter in. The one steadfast of mind, you guard in perfect peace, for you trust in you. Trust in Yahweh forever, for in Yahweh is a rock of ages. He shall bring down those who dwell in her. He lays the exalted city low. He lays it low to the earth. He brings it down to the dust. Foot tramples it down. Feet of the poor, footsteps of the needy. The path of the righteous is a brightness. O upright one, you weigh the course of the righteous.
Also, in the path of your right rulings, O Yahweh, we have waited for you. The longing of our being is for your name and for the remembrance of you. Me, my being longs for you in the night. Also, my spirit within me seeks you earnestly. For when your right rulings are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world shall learn righteousness. The wrong finds favor, yet he shall not learn righteousness. In the land of straightforwardness, he acts perversely and does not see the excellency of Yahweh. O Yahweh, your hand is high. They do not see. They see the ardor of the people and are ashamed. Also, let the fire of your adversaries consume them. O Yahweh, you establish peace for us, for you have also done all our works in us. O Yahweh, our Elohim, other masters besides you have had rule over us. Only in you do we make mention of your name. The dead do not live, the departed spirits do not rise. Therefore you have visited and destroyed them, and made all their remembrance to perish.
You shall increase the nation, O Yahweh. You shall increase the nation. You are esteemed. You shall expand all the borders of the land, O Yahweh. In distress they shall visit you. They shall pour out they shall pour out a prayer when your discipline your disciplines is upon them. As a woman with children is about to give birth, wreaths and cries in her pains, so shall we be before your face, O Yahweh. We have conceived, we writhe in pain, and have given birth to wind. We have not accomplished deliverance in earth, nor have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Let your dead live together with my dead body. Let them arise. Awake and sing, you who dwell in dust. For you, for your dew is a dew of light, and let the earth give birth to the departed spirit. Go, my people, enter your rooms, and shut your doors behind you. Hide yourselves, as it were, for a little while, until the displeasure is past. For look, Yahweh is coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their crookedness. And the earth shall disclose her blood and no longer cover her killed ones. I was like, vengeance is coming to you. And those that want to stay on the good side, be easy. Those that don't, burn easy. Dig?
I just think he's just expressing the power of God.
Sounds
Facts.
like he's expressing his love to the Most High.
Mmm. It's a love story. Got it. Always a love story. Don't forget that part.
It's a love
I like
prayer.
how the love is bonded in righteousness, right? It's not like, oh, because I feel you're cool. No, it's because you're righteous, right? Like that could be
Yeah.
measured, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let the fire on your adversaries consume them. Yeah, don't get burnt up. Okay. I saw something here in Isaiah, the 26th chapter, verse 13. He said, when he says, O Yahweh, our Elohim, other masters besides you have ruled over us. Only you do we make mention of your name. That's lit. That's lit. They had all, yeah. They're acknowledging that. Look, in our time, there were other spirits running this. Like in Babylon, there's spirits running this. Like they ain't telling you, but there's a spirit over y'all right now. There's a spirit over us here, running things behind the scenes. The mighty masters, but you don't remember them.
Yeah.
All right. If that's all, let's slide on to the next. Mm.
Yeah, 13 here.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, the good thing is two people gonna have three. One person gonna have, I mean, sorry, two people gonna have four. One person gonna have five.
Let's sit up there for a second, sir. Good call.
Yeah,
Good
just
catch.
checking, test it, testing the system, see if
Let
it
me make
works.
sure you knew that I was trying to say.
Now I sense you too. I sense that. I was like, nah, I got it. I got this, sir. I got this. I got this. All right, who wants the number
I'll
fifth?
take the
Who
five.
wants the, you'll take the five? Oh man, rap. I'm pronouncing it right. Okay.
In that day, Yahweh, with a severe sword, great and strong, punishes the Leviathan,
Yeah,
the
like I
fleeing
think they're
serpent.
saying Leviathan. No, we're pronouncing it Leviathan, but it's like
Yeah,
probably like Leviathan or something, like Leviathan or something like that.
yeah, fleeing serpent. Leviathan, that twisted serpent. He shall kill the monster that is in the sea. And that day sing to her a vineyard of red wine. I, Yahweh, do guard it. I water it every moment, lest any hurt it. I guard it night and day. Wrath is not in me. Who who would set thorn bushes and weeds against me in battle? I
Hmm.
would go through them, I would burn them together. Or let him take hold of my strength, make peace with me. Let him make peace with me.
Those who come, he causes to take root in Jacob. Israel shall blossom and bud, and they shall fill the face of the world with fruit.
Hmm.
Has he smitten him as he struck the ones who were striking him, or as a killer? Was he killed as he was killing? In measure, by sending her away, you contended with her. He shall take away by his rough wind in the day of the east wind. Therefore, by this the crookedness of Jacob is covered, and this is all the fruit of taking away his sin. When he makes all the stones of the slaughter place like chalk stones that are beaten to dust, Asherim and sun pillars rise no more.
Hmm. But the city of defense is lonely, a home forsaken and left like a wilderness. There the calves feed, and there it lies down, and it shall consume its branches. When its twigs are dry, they are broken off. Women come out and set them on fire, for it's a people of no understanding. Therefore, he who made them has no compassion on them, and he who forms them show them no favor. And in that day it shall be that Yahweh threshes from the channel of the river of the Wadi of Mizraim, and you shall be gathered one by one, O children of Israel. And in that day it shall be that a great shepherd is blown, and those who will perish in the land of Ashur and the outcasts of the land of Mizraim shall come and shall worship Yahweh on the set apart mountain in Jerusalem. They're saying it's dope how they staying on message. Like it's not like it's changing. That's what I love about the consistency of the Most High.
Yeah,
And so I highlighted this one piece I wanted to share with, doing some detective work and tying things in. In Yeshayahu, Isaiah, the 27th chapter, in verse 1, it says, in that day, Yahweh, with his severe sword, great and strong, punished Leviathan, the fleeing serpent. Leviathan, that twisted serpent, and he shall kill the monster that's in the sea. There's so much in that. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when we say interpretation, the only reason we have to interpret it because we don't know where it came from, or we don't have that piece of information, right? When you start getting into the apocrypha, you start understanding what these serpents and these snakes and who they signal. It's like almost like say something we all share together. Like you see how we watch Naruto. You
yeah,
see how like Naruto is the nine-tailed fox, right? But he's Naruto. So like that energy, there's like a greater being behind these like chess pieces called humans, or you know what I mean? Like there's something there in the spirit realm that we're not even talking. Like we just read past it, but in that one little verse was so deep. If you know what you're reading now, because now you're like, oh, the Leviathan is that great serpent, the sea monster, right? You study like, okay, that sea monster keep coming back because it's in the sea. None of those monsters was hurt during the flood. You know what I mean? Like, but they still got to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk about mermaids and stuff like that, like grays, like these things. They're saying things that's like flying serpents. Like these things could get up and move. So when we say we have to interpret, these are the things we would have to interpret if we didn't have like a problem. And then even in that, people are starting trying to interpret those the best way they could, because it's still a mystery, right? You still got, like, let's say our hearts are not in the right place. We take this information and we could like right now we're gonna take the information, should we choose, and make stories out of it. But we can also take the same information and dominate markets, dominate armies, us three, because we have that energy. Another thing that came out is this is something that there's so much into these verses. It said, and now we jumping down like verse 6. It says, those who come, he caused to take root in Jacob. Israel shall blossom and bud, and they shall fill the face of the world with fruit. Like now we know that's people, right? But they're describing people as a tree. The spirit of this tree is in these. You see what I'm saying? Like the nine-tailed fox, the tree. Like you see what I'm saying? Like this person has this spirit, and you know what I mean? Like those. When I'm talking about telling a story, we can incorporate into our storytelling because it fits the narrative, right? It's we're making it like, and this is where we're drawing inspiration from. And I was just gonna write it word for word, but like you would know in our story, right? Let's say we punch in and we'd be like, hey, let's pick because we know we're starting to get to know, the 12 tribes and Jacob. Let's just punch into Jacob and find out everything about Jacob. But when we tell the story, his name won't be Jacob, right? His name will be something because we're inspired by these things that happen to Jacob and his sons, or we're inspired by these things that happen to Noah and his sons. You know what I'm saying? Shem, Chem, you know what I'm saying? Japhet, I'm sorry, and Ham. You see what I'm saying? Like when those are inspirations, how these brothers had to deal with each other, splitting up. They went through the worst. Can you imagine going through one of the worst traumas? Like not only seeing multiple people die, guys, you're the last three people or the last family on earth, right? Of earth breathing creatures, because they're probably sea creatures, right? If we don't know, but these things are hinting at something's down there that has thought, that has a cognitive, you know what I'm saying, that could think, you know what I'm saying, that could whatever. And they probably older than, as old as men are, right? Or probably even older. I don't know. I can't remember if Sea Creatures was made in day 3. I don't know. I can't remember. Forgive me. Right? But like, think about it. Same way you have a lion here and an ape here and a monkey here. There's probably sharks down there. But there's got to be an intelligent. Dolphins are intelligent. There's got to be intelligent creatures down there. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like something like there was a creature like it lights. I don't know no creature that I can identify with it on Earth. Like it actually turns into a light that hypnotizes victims and it swallows its victims. It's the scariest looking creature I've ever seen. Like you know what I'm saying? But I'm not even gonna say scary. I should stop using that word because I'm not scared. It's bizarre looking. But it's made. Something made that. Right? Like I see like sometimes when they be playing with like sci-fi channels, they be having people with gills and stuff. They probably got some inside information that we don't know. A lot of it. Aquaman, like I'm not saying it's a real Aquaman, but if we rule land, something's got to rule the sea. That's how, I mean, like, I'm seeing, like, Yahshua is going to be, you know what I'm saying, the king of men. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a hierarchy with the Most High. Like, you know what I'm saying? Got 24 elders, got the 4 beasts. He sits on the throne by himself, you know what I'm saying? Yahshua sits on the right side. Like, there's always a grandiose setup with him, which is beautiful. And I'm sure they have that same thing as above, so below, right? I'm sure that, like, between the belows, I'm sure they got that same thing on that water level. And that would be lit. Like, we probably will fall out if we saw water people. They probably fall out if they saw us. We don't know. Like, yo, they breathe air and they walk around on 2 feet? Wow, fascinating. They probably can't get to this level. We probably can't get to that level. But they were probably beings like being. If me tell me if they thought about Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, they didn't think about like what the Aquaman world would look like. They tell you about the Superman world, tell you about Wonder Woman. Like that Aquaman world, like gotta be crazy. But at the same time, like they gotta be dealt with too. Everything, and everybody. All right, big. Talk to me, man.
I'm soaking that one in.
I was deep, man. I was deep.
Me too.
All right, moving on. So, two people gonna have 10. One person gonna have nine. I'll
That's
take the
correct.
nine. I'll take the nine.
Alright.
Pass me my nine.
Woe to the proud crown of the drunkards of Ephraim, and to the fading flower of its splendid comeliness, that it is on the head of the fertile valley, to those who are overcome with wine. See, Yahweh has one who is strong and potent, like a downpour of hail and a destroying storm, like a flood of mighty waters overflowing, who cast down to the earth with the hand. The proud crown of the drunkards of Ephraim is trampled underfoot, and the fading flower of its splendid comeliness, that is on the head of the fertile valley, like the first fruit before the summer, which when one sees it, he eats it up while it is still in his hand. In that day, Yahweh of hosts is for a crown of splendor, and a headdress of comeliness to the remnant of his people, and a spirit of right ruling to him who sits in right ruling, and strength to those who turn back the battle at the gate. And these two have gone astray through wine, and through strong drink wandered about. Priest and prophet have gone astray through strong drink. They are swallowed up by wine. They wander about through strong drink. They go astray in vision. They stumble in right ruling. For all tables shall be covered with vomit, no place without filth. Whom would he teach knowledge? And whom would he make to understand the message? Those weaned from milk, those taken from the breasts. For it is command upon command upon command, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little, there a little.
For with a jabbering lip and a foreign tongue he speaks to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest, give rest to the weary, and this is the refreshing, but they would not hear. But the word of Yahweh was to them, command upon command, command upon command, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little, so that they go and shall stumble backward, and be broken and snared and taken captive. Therefore, hear the word of Yahweh, you men of scorn, who rule this people who are in Jerusalem, because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with Sheol we have effected a vision. When the overflowing scourge passes through, it does not come to us. For we have made lying our refuge, and under falsehood we have hidden ourselves. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, see, I am laying in Sion a stone for a foundation, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a settled foundation. He who trusts shall not hasten away, and I shall make right ruling the measuring line, and righteousness the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lying, and the waters overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with the death shall be annulled, and your vision with the Sheol not stand. When an overflowing scourge passes through, then you shall be trampled down by it. As often as it passes through, it shall take you, for it shall pass through every morning, by day and by night, and it shall be only trembling to understand the message. For the bed shall be too short for man to stretch out upon, and the covering shall be too narrow to wrap himself in it.
For Yahweh rise up as a Mount Perazim, and his wrath at the valley of Gibeon, to do his work, his strange work, and to do his deed, his strange deed. And now, do not be scoffers, lest your bonds be made strong. For I have heard from the Master, Yahweh of hosts, a destruction decree upon all the earth. Give ear and hear my voice. Listen and hear my word. Does the plowman keep plowing all day to sow? Does he keep turning his soil and breaking the clods? When he has leveled in his surface, does he not sow the caraway and scatter the cunnings? Plant the wheats in rows, the barley in appointed places, and the spet in his place? For he instructs him from right ruling. His Elohim teaches him. For he caraway is not threshed with threshing sledge, nor is a wagon wheel rolled over coming, but a caraway is beaten out with a stick and coming with a rod. Grain is crushed, so one does not go on threshing it forever, nor break it with his wagon wheel, nor crush it with his horsemen. Even this had even this had come from Yahweh of hosts, who did wonder in counsel and made wisdom great. Goodness, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, okay. I think I pick up what he was putting down. That was crazy. That was powerful.
Facts.
Basic. Basically, what I picked up was like he's not making he didn't make you. This is not yeah. This is for a reason. He's testing those for a reason. He didn't test those for you to fail. He didn't test you. He didn't build these seeds up for it to go trodden underfoot. He didn't build none of. He's telling you to each seed. He's like, I know how to deal with each seed. We are the seeds. We are. You know how to. So that way, when we win, if we in our proper mind, in our proper place, we gonna grow into be strong roots, strong seeds, bearing fruit. That's dope. That's dope. That's out to the Most High now. Hallelujah. More to that too, but goodness, that's what I picked up in the end. In the beginning too, like here's another part. It says, woe, I mean, yes, yeah, in Isaiah, the 28th chapter, the first verse, it's just off the first ball he comes. He said, woe to the proud crowd of the drunkard of Ephraim. Right? The proud crown of the drunkards of Ephraim. Right? That's the son. That's the ones that in the tribe, right? That's really the northern kingdoms. Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Manasseh and Ephraim is Joseph's boys. But then Jacob blesses Ephraim over Manasseh. Right? So it says, enter the fading flower of its splendid comeliness that's on the head of the fertile valley, and those who are overcome with wine. He's describing us like we're just like territory. We're just like land. We're just like seeds, right? Like this whole population control for us not to have kids and this, and that, and the third. That's no, we like to populate, but these seeds need to understand where they come from. The point of populating the earth, and we like these children, the drunkards of Ephraim, they thinking it's about they living like how we living today in mental captivity. We thinking we free. We don't gotta do that. Oh, we don't got. Yo, they made us so against church, right? Those of us that are righteous, that we throw away the Most High with the church. Nah, man, I ain't doing all that Jesus stuff, man. It's not a thing. Nah, hey, I get you. I get what they told you. But you need to go create your own relationship because it's like you got a dad, right? And you don't know your dad, but they're telling you about your dad and you making up your opinion about your dad from what other people are telling you. If it's your dad, go talk to your dad.
Yeah.
If he don't come to you, you go to him. And this spiritual father, these guys was just running out there doing whatever. astrology, numerology, whatever the prevailing thing is, because it's the same prevailing, and their crowns is just they're proud. They beating their chest. Yeah, we the children of Yeah, you can also lose it too. You can fall from grace, and it came to them. They went into captivity shortly after. They didn't stop being proud. They didn't stop. Like they're doing the same thing. Nothing is new under the sun. Doing the same thing. Making gods out of simple people. I mean, even then, they had stronger people, but you're still people. Worshiping astropoles, like putting your energy in the spirit nothingness. And I say spirit nothingness is something, don't get me wrong, but it's vapor. It's just like vapor, y'all. Meaning, like, you can see it. Like, when you blow smoke tree, when you blow smoke big, you can see it, you can smell it. It has density, it has smell. But can you put it in your pocket and take it away? Can you hold on to it? Can that be your rock? So that's what these people got to understand with these Jezebel spirits, with these spirits of Nimrod, with fear, anxiety, all these kind of energies jumping on you. You gotta stay focused. You gotta keep your spiritual armor up because it sneaks up on you in any which way. It could be a female, it could be your boys, it could be you.
Facts.
And the crazy part is, we take too much of the responsibility, where all we doing is opening a door. That's all we doing, right? It's whatever's coming in that's coming in, attacking, leading. Yo, Bree told me yesterday, right? This I could tell you these things are real. Bree told me the other day. She was like, I seen it in her face. Like I'm like, this little girl look like my grandmother. What's wrong with you? Why you look so stressed? Her hair crazy. She was like, she did the for a little bit, and then she just told me, she was like, if my mom died giving birth to my brother, I'm like, why would you think about that? Who thinks about that? She was like, I'm really worried that may happen. I'm like, first and foremost, I had to do a little prayer over her. Like, whatever's binding her, let loose in the name of Yahshua. Let loose, please. This is my baby. I can't just let her go out like that.
Surprised he even knows all that.
Right. But there is no innocence. You are born with sin. You are born as a vessel. You could be filled or not. It's just you don't know what you're doing, what they're gonna need a baby for. But yeah, once you start coming to your senses and start knowing temptation and start knowing to greed to fill your stomach, you're in there. Welcome to the world of sin. Welcome to the wilderness. All right? Because we all need our needs met, quote unquote. We all get hungry, quote unquote. We all need to feel flattered and feel honored, quote unquote. Like we did a good job. We all people need to recognize our work that we did, quote unquote. They need to hear us. Yeah, we can get egotistical. We can wear a proud crown too. Remember in the beginning, we was like, yeah, we bad, we know it, we bad, we the children of the Most High, yeah. Imagine if we kept that spirit. I joke about it, shoot, but it was real. That St. Prue jinx. How you think that starts? Too much pride up, too much proud crown. And you gonna get punished right then and there. And I'm
It
happy the Most High
manifested
punished.
himself.
Exactly. I'm happy he punished me right there. Because I learned right then and there. And I ain't the kid you gotta keep beating. I got it. I got it. Won't happen again, Heavenly Father. I do my best. So bad, and then describe like this make you feel good about yourself. They're not talking to you a rapper. They're not talking about you like you a nigger. They talking about you like you a fruit. You a precious fruit. You a precious spice to the Most High. He'll put those here. He'll put Big standing here. He'll put Pooh standing there. Me standing there. We watching each other 360, but we're all in our own pot, growing, nourishing us with the water, the soil to keep us growing. He know what to do. He even said, I'm gonna put it so where you can't even get trampled over foot by the wheels of the chariot. I'm gonna put you somewhere special. No horseman gonna, nobody gonna step on you. And this is why we live in. This is not no, oh, we gotta go die and go to the graveyard. No, here, now, right now. Hallelujah. Keep on going. Big, talk to me, man. Getting all hype right now. You know what I'm saying? Heating up right now. I'm more feeling the set apart spirit about to jump in on me. Come on in. Come on in. Dude. Go ahead, Big, talk to me.
Oh no, just felt like a message and a warning at the same time.
At the same time. Mm. Good observation, sir.
That's what I was gonna. No, I'm kidding. I'm second down. I'm second down there.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Matter of fact, everything you said, I was gonna say. You just said it first.
Everything. So silly.
With my whole flow.
Oh, you got me snorting, Big. All right, yo, man. Hallelujah. On to the next. Ooh, we got some stuff. Oh, man. Everybody got 8. Okay.
Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add year to year, let festivals come around. And I shall distress Ariel, and there shall be mourning and sorrow, and it shall be to me as Ariel. And I shall encamp against you all around. I shall lay siege against you with a mound, and I shall raise siege works against you. And you shall be brought low, and speak out of the ground. Your speech shall be low, out of the dust, and your voice shall be like a medium's, out of the ground, and your speech whisper out of the dust. But the crowd of the strange to you shall be fine like dust, and the crowd of the ruthless ones as chaff blowing away. And it shall be in an instant, suddenly. You shall be visited by Yahweh of hosts with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with whirlwind and storm and flame of devouring fire. And the crowd of all the nations who fight against Ariel, even all who fight against her and her stronghold, and distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. And it shall be as when a hungry man dreams, and see, he eats, but he awakes, and his being is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreams, and see, he drinks, but he awakes, and see, he is faint, his being is longing. Thus shall be the crowd of all the nations be who fight against Mount Sion.
Jeez. Pause and wonder. Blind yourselves and be blind. They are drunk, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and he has covered your heads, the seers, and the entire vision is to you like the words of a book that is sealed, which men give to one who knows books, saying, read this, please. And he said, I am unable, for it is sealed. And the book is given to the one who does not know books, saying, read this, please. And he said, I have not known books. And Yahweh says, because this people has drawn near with its mouth, and with its lips they have esteemed me, and it has kept its heart far from me, and their fear of me has become a command of men that is taught. Therefore, see, I am doing a marvelous work among these people, a marvelous work and a wonder, and the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their clever men shall be hidden. Woe to those who seek deep to hide their counsel far from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. They say, who sees us, and who knows us? How perverse of you! Should the potter be reckoned as the clay? Should what is made say of its maker, he did not make me?
Hmm.
And what is formed say of him who formed it, he did not understand.
Hmm. It's not yet a little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into garden land, and the garden land shall be reckoned as a forest. And in that day the deaf shall hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out the gloom and out of darkness. And the meek ones shall increase their joys in Yahweh, and the poor amongst men rejoice in the set apart one of Israel. For the ruthless one is brought to naught, the scorner is consumed, and all who watch for evil shall be cut off. Those who make a man to sin in word, and lay a snare for him who reproves in the gate, and turn aside the righteous with empty reasoning. Therefore, thus say Yahweh, who ransomed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. And Jacob is no longer put to shame, no longer does his face grow pale. When he sees his children, the work of my hands, in his midst, they shall set apart my name, and set apart the set apart ones of Jacob, and fear the Elohim of Israel. And those who went astray in the spirit shall come to understanding, and the grumblers accept instructions. Heavy.
Sounds like Yahweh saying, "This is my territory. Whoever comes in it is gonna be scarred for life."
Mr. Badman, Badman, this is my town.
One
Mr.
part reminded me of Babylon, though. Like when he was like in Isaiah 29, verse 14 through 16, he was like, therefore, see, I am doing a marvelous work among this people, a marvelous work and a wonder. And the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their clever men shall be hidden. Like that part right there is like Babylon, how like the scientists, they be trying to like
Facts.
expose some stuff, but like the people aren't listening. And then, woe to those who seek deep to hide their counsel far from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. They say, who sees us, and who knows us? How perverse of you! Should the potter be reckoned as the clay? Should what is
Hmm.
made say of its maker, he did not make me? And what is formed say of him who formed it, he did not understand?
Hmm.
Yeah, that part was like all these hidden groups trying to take over the world, acting like
Mm.
they're hidden when
You
Yahweh
make it
already
up.
knows all their plans.
I can't even touch that right now, but I will. Yo, Big, I'm right on you, but I started with verse 13, right? It's like, and Yahweh says, because this people has drawn near with his mouth, and with his lips they have esteemed me, and have kept his heart from me, and their fear of me have become a command of men that's taught, right? It's like, yeah, y'all learned everything, right? Y'all came near me with y'all mouths, but y'all heart. So y'all know the sciences. Like there's people that know this book back and forth better than us, but
Mm,
they're using it, and then we draw into what you were talking about. You see how much he covers in just like 4 verses,
yeah,
and you be like, "Yo, this still going on here.
facts.
This is still so." All this changing is probably technology. And what's crazy, remember that Angel Tech was probably old. iPhones was probably old. Communication, this and that and the third was old compared to what they were doing. Because there was years where people just started creating the internet. But they got it from somewhere. These people just didn't wake up smart. Something jumped into them. And they made a covenant, a pact with something. And he's coming for you. Because you're dealing with something you're not even supposed to mess with. Or mess with it at your own on your own caution. Play with it if you want to. Mind you, we know people in our family that practice voodoo faithfully, but they still call on the Most High.
Mm.
Jesus still comes out their mouth, but they will still go do they would go to church and they ritual church. They'll go to two churches. And that's just that. Like, and I'm not gonna touch the Masons and all that other stuff. I'm not. But that was always here. They didn't go nowhere. They still worshiping the same Greek gods and stuff. It's still there. Alpha is this dog or this gorilla or whatever. This person is a dog. And they had that already. When you start looking at hierarchy, one day we gotta take a trip. I wish I could. I need you guys to start traveling. But we're gonna have to start taking trips to the land. We're gonna have to start taking trips to Israel. We're gonna have to start taking trips to Babylon. We gotta see it because you guys gotta see it. Like all the things that's dope about this, the ruling people of this, they took everything and put it in their museum. They lied, still, kill for it, which is lit. That means we completely ransacked you. Whoever got the Ark of the Covenant, yeah. And I'm sure they even got the spear, the sword of the spear, the sword, the spear that's hit Yahshua up. I'm sure. I can't prove it, but I'm sure they keep all the artifacts. That's what happens when you win. You keep everything. Yeah, we gotta start winning. Yeah, you right, shoot. Mr. Badman, this is our time. We're doing this on behalf of the Most High. And that's what give us the strength. Like, if we doing it on for our own personal, we ain't gonna survive. We're gonna run out of energy. I promise you. Trust me, I tried it. I tried it all the wrong way. Taking little hustling crews and everything, bro. Everything failed. Everything. The only thing the Most High allowed me to do was to get out of there without facing a charge. But here's the crazy part. He let me get out of that, but he punishes me with driving tickets up the wazoo.
That's like when David got punished. He was like, "It's not gonna be you. It's gonna be your family, though."
Your family gonna get right. So watch what you do for protect your sons. See, if we knew that, right? Imagine if we were raising boys with that mentality, like, yo, protect your seed. You think we would have things with these dizzy? You think you would have a kid with a dizzy chick?
Nope.
You got this. You got your own birth control. You think you would have? You think you would look at? Nah, you be finding some fly chicks. Like this chick ain't got a car. She can't provide. Nah. She can't help. Nah. I see how she treat her moms. Nah, I don't want my kid. No, I don't want no.
Facts.
It was an honor to have Pooh in that family. I love because that's family. It was family. It was just like me marrying myself. It's weird talking to Val right now. Cause that's like somebody I love, like a cousin, sister, you know what I mean? Brother. And at one point in reality, this is the crazy, at one point in reality, that was my wife. You feel me? So like that, remember I was talking about different times, same people, but different time zones, different responsibilities, different energies. We had different responsibilities to each other.
Yeah.
So things are not, it's all the same test. You won't be able to go there and say to Yahshua when hey, it was different in that time. No, he said it. You don't think people were doing the same thing in the time of Moses and they still face judgment? They was being smarter and stronger than you. They were hybrids. You see how they make a liger? These motherfuckers still doing it. They took a lion and a tiger and mated it. They don't meet each other in natural. In nature, they take rats and pigs and mate them. It's the same sciences. Oh, we think because we got cell phones, we different. These people were able to communicate. When they say something was heard all over the world, you thinking, how did they do it? The same way they did it now. They broadcast that shit. Some people think the pyramids was conductors, energy conductors. Who knows? But here's where we get trapped. We get so caught up in the pyramids, man. We start making that a god. Oh, we want to know more about the pyramids, how they were struck, what they were thinking. We want to devote our time, energy to that. Creating an instant god, a totem. Guess what? Your phone is the totem. Oh man, I ain't on this site, man. I ain't on that site, but you still going to your phone for answers. Hey Google, who you Googles? You still, man, people used to check on the inside. They used to come from within. Now it's coming, it's external.
Mm.
And then here's the craziest part. Y'all gotta let sink in. There's some of us, probably a good deal of us, people, not the chosen, but the people that are hybrids, bro. You got to deal with that. Like, they worship, and they'll tell you, just don't go into arguing with them. Don't just listen to them. Listen to what they worship. They'll tell you.
Mm.
Some people are worth saving, some people are not. But the spirit will move you. Like, here's another part of it that's crazy. You don't even know the whole word, and you're going to evangelize what? Exactly. Your version of it. So that's why I stay weird people that's gonna tell me how they gonna save me. Word? That's what it said in the book. You gonna do it? Okay. I hear you. You're proud crown. Now you walking with the spirit and you think you can do everything. We have our limitations. It's a superpower, but we're still binded by reality. Don't jump off a building just to be like, ah, man, I sure you didn't pick me up. Why'd your dumbass jump off a building in the first place? He's my friends. Like, who does that? Get mad at him. He should be getting mad at you, stupid. I had something planned for you, dummy. Testing the street. No, don't play with it like that. And don't be calling on no. Yo, I remember somebody told me this about voodoo. They was like, yeah, we call on these minor spirits because the Most High's these patience is too long. So they make these little contracts here because they can't wait. Okay. They tell me this. And I just sit and listen. At the crust of it, they want the shit now. They can't wait. Just like how I did that deal. I sold my solar pool earlier, man. This guy owns me now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm the artist formerly known as Ayo, Vardley, that guy, or daddy. Now, you know what I'm saying? I made a side deal with Pooh because I couldn't wait to get what I wanted. I wanted it right then and there. So made a deal with him. Right? Now that is not as sinister as people making deals with unclean spirits for power and control.
Like, give me 1 second, guys. Mama needs help with stuff. I'll be right back.
I'm a rock with Big. Right, Big? So like these people set up for power and control. But that's not even for them. That's like me fighting over your inheritance. How sinister I gotta be. Making deals with minor beings just to get your shit. And keep you oppressed and keep you down. And teach my sons how to do that to you. Yeah, they gonna get it. Oh, they gonna get it. And I can't wait to see it. Oh my God. I had a little taste of it yesterday too. We had this little motherfucking tube. Oh, I'm cursing. We had this, one of the oppressors, the small hats. Just in his mind, he's like, yo, it's an expense, but we, came into it, coordinated, controlled, like, all right, just gonna listen to him and what it is. It went better than what I expected because the person he wanted to holler at an influencer that I know, right? I was like, got them in. Already in my mind, I'm like, yep, I'm about to break you down. Just like how your peoples broke our peoples down. And I don't care if they say, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it, but you benefit from it. So that you gotta get whipped on too. And the Most High just allow me to be calm, cool, chill with how this get implemented, how this get executed. So yo, we drunk up a wazoo. I drunk till I couldn't drink no more. I I got a new level. Right? I'm the set apart spirit is talking to me like, yo, you need to calm down, chill out, chill out, chill out.
I heard that voice before.
Come again?
So I be hearing that voice.
Yo, trust it, trust it,
Facts.
trust it. And it's crazy. Here's another thing too, and I'm gonna give you this gem. Right? The more you trust that voice, the other voices, like people don't talk about the other voices. Like I don't have a problem talking about the other voices, right? The more you focus on that voice, the other voices, it's like it get tiny and weaker and weaker. They there, but they're like, hey, and they look for
Yeah.
moments.
You can
They look for
discern it
certain
better.
moments, right? Because it's like a cup. What? If I put water in your cup, guess what you're drinking? Now, if I put lemonade in your cup, guess what you're drinking?
Yeah.
If I put apple juice in your cup, so now we shells, right? We can be filled spiritually with whatever. That's why that armor is the armor of the Most High. That's what He's giving you to protect you, and it's something you gotta put on. It's not something that just you just wake up and it just no. You gotta put it on. You gotta do that work. You know what I mean? You gotta get. You gotta put on that. They start with the. This is how dope they start. Normally they start with you gotta gird yourself with the truth. You gotta be based in the truth. It's gotta start from there. Because if you don't look and seek the truth out, it's not gonna make sense. Because you can go ever which way, right? They talk about the breastplate of righteousness. Like you gotta stick your chest out, but you gotta be a righteous being. You can't be just strong, just rule and blah blah blah. Take the weak and rob. Nah, man, you can't. Nah, you can't be a lion just robbing. Nah, you got to be a full fledged lion. Nah, put your chest out raw, but nah. The lions have name. You can't be a lion going around here like you ain't a lion. You know what I mean? You gotta walk that walk. Don't act like no mouse. So you gotta be that righteousness. Gotta be there. The sword, the spirit, like that. It's a double-edged sword. It can also cut you too if you don't wield it right. But it's powerful because it's the word. But you can get stumbled in the word. You can misuse the word and hurt yourself. So be careful. Yo, when you hold that sword, be careful. Understand that power. You got the helmet of salvation. Like I'm saying, like you know you're gonna be, you're raptured, you're saved. And not saved in the way that you thinking. It's just you got entry into the kingdom. They talk about wearing shoes of peace, your boots of peace, because you always seeking out the peace level way to do it. Yo, if a fight come, it come. But you ain't gonna be the one going out there to start it. You talking about keeping everything chill. Where's the love at? You know what I'm saying? And then my favorite part is the shield of faith. However strong your faith is, however much arrows you can block off, right, of these enemies. So those voices with that shield of faith, they, it it becomes nothing. I'll tell you a funny story, right? While we wait for Pooh. I'm laughing because I used to be scared of mice. And I'm sitting there, it's at Tati Levy's house, you know what I'm saying? She's got mice galore. I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting in there just watching these things zip across. Now, here's the funny part. Bree Bree, you know her, she thinks she's a veterinarian. I'm trying to catch these things out of fear. I'm hunting them out of fear. I'm scared of them. So that's why I want to kill them. Because in my mind, they represent disease, pestilence. There may be some truth in that because of the Black Plague. Who knows? But it's something about them I just don't like. It's just something. Here, this little girl on the opposite end of the spectrum, she's like, they're so cute. I want to catch one and pet it. I'm like, really? This little girl. Our situation get put to the test. The whole time I'm there by myself, I can't catch one. The time Bree comes, I catch two. This little girl's trying to free this thing off the trap. I'm like, is she? She's putting me in levels I don't even know where to be at. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to throw the thing away and still look like a man in front of her without shitting on myself, without peeing on myself. I'm trying to, you understand where I'm coming from? Like, I'm scared of these things.
Ugh.
This little girl she's getting bags and trying to figure out how to take it out the glue without hurting it. So much so, I'm like, she's going to kill it. Like, trying to save it. Trying to pull it out, because that's glue. Yo, that's going to rip his whole skin off and then some, probably. Man, I'm like, you know what? Now I gotta tell her a story to make her look left while I go right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna tell her the truth when she get older. I lied to her. I was like, you know what, bitch? I'm gonna take it out and free it. I'm sorry. She was distraught, yo. She was like, Daddy, dude, you know, Bree. I'm like, yo, I didn't even know what to. My fear had to go somewhere else because I have to deal with this little girl crying over a freaking mice. She even started naming it. She was like, Dad, let Jerry go. Let's find a way to save Jerry. I'm like, oh man. So boom. I hit her with the left. Boom. I picked up, whatever. I'm like, yeah, go right here. I'm gonna go save it, man. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Let's go look for this. So by the time I picked it up, I threw it in the trash, right? So hopefully, I don't know. I know it ain't gonna live. He know it ain't gonna live. But anyways, normally I feed things like that to my aunts. But the moral of that story is I didn't have time to be fearful. She wouldn't even let me be fearful. If Bree wasn't there, I probably would have acted like I didn't see the thing so I wouldn't have to deal with it. Get mad at Levy. Why you got so many, you know what I'm saying? Like, now let other voices jump in me. Get mad at Levy. Man, now I'm doing the spirit of hate. I hate it here, man. You can't keep the pay king. That would have jumped into me, that voice, and I would start speaking and start being less appreciative of the woman that let me stay in her house for nothing, just because she loves me. I would have ruined that door too, listening to the wrong voices. So be mindful of what you consume. That's not really the big deal. It's what you put out. Is everybody watching? And I say everybody, I'm talking about the bodies that can. We think, when we say, man, people are looking at it, we right, but we don't know what people we talking about. There's beings that just watch us and keep notes. We're all being put in a book. Even if you don't know how to read, you're still being put in a book. You're putting everything you think you're doing in the dark. It was crazy. I remember jerking off as a kid thinking I was hiding, but I felt something still watching me, and it felt weird for me. It was like, I felt guilty. Like something is watching me. Like I got caught by something. In my mind, it'd be like maybe my mom. You know what I'm saying? It's that, but it just felt weird, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I know we're being watched. I know something is taking notes. Everything we're doing is being recorded.
Like this Saturday.
Fire. We
What a
got
mess.
bombs that way. We ain't been around in a minute. Happy Sabbath Saturday. We dropping gems on y'all on that. Gem on y'all. Oh snap! Oh, the same prove back. We got to change the subject. Alrighty tighty. Oh, we got a good one. Everybody got 11. Oh, that's
Started
dope.
with 777 and then ended with 11.
11. Oh, that's you caught it, Vic. That's crazy with the numbers. All right.
The numbers, Mason.
What do they mean?
Let's give me one more second.
Take it away, Sean.
That was the perfect moment. That should be me to it.
Ain't
I was just about to say that too.
that 1 second? That 1 second.
Facts.
Woe to the stubborn children, declares Yahweh, to make counsel, but not from me, and to devise plans, but not of my spirit, in order to add sin to sin,
Hmm.
who are setting out to go down to Mitzrayim, and have not asked my mouth, to be strengthened in the strength of Pharaoh, and to seek refuge in the shadow of Mitzrayim. And the strength of Pharaoh shall become your shame, and the refuge in the shadow of Mitzrayim your confusion. For his princes were at Soan, and his messengers came to Hannes, or Hans. Let's say honest. They were all ashamed of all of the people who did not profit them, who do not profit them, nor help or profit, but a shame and also a reproach. The message concerning the beasts of the south, through a land of trouble and distress, from which came the lioness and lion, the adder and the fair flying serpent. They convey their riches on the backs of young donkeys, and their treasures on the humps of camels, to an unprofitable people. Even
Hmm.
Mitzrayim, whose help is vain and empty. Therefore I have called her Rahab-hem Shebeth. And go, write it before them on a tablet, and inscribe it on a scroll. That is, that it is for a latter day, a witness forever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children who refuse to hear the Torah of Yahweh,
Hmm.
who say to the seers, do not see, and to the prophets, do not prophesy to us what is right. Speak to us what is smooth, prophesy deceits.
Hmm.
Turn aside from the way, swerve from the path, cause the set apart one of Israel to cease from before us.
Hmm.
Therefore, thus said the set apart one of Israel, because you despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and rely on them, therefore this crookedness is to you like a breach ready to fall, a bulge in a high wall, whose breaking comes suddenly, swiftly. And he shall break it like the breaking of the potter's vessel, which is
Hmm.
broken in pieces, without sparing, so that there is not found among its fragment a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or take water from the cistern. For thus said the Master Yahweh, the set apart one of Israel, in returning and rest you are saved, in stillness and trust is your strength. But you would not, and you said, no, for we flee upon horses. Therefore you flee, and we ride on swift horses. Therefore those who pursue you are swift.
Hmm.
1,000 flee at the rebuke of one. At the rebuke of 5 you shall flee until you are left as a pole on top of the mountain, and as a sign on the hill. And therefore Yahweh shall wait to show you favor. And therefore he shall be exalted to have compassion on you. For Yahweh is an Elohim of right ruling. Blessed are all those who wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Sion at Jerusalem. You shall weep no more. He shall show much favor to you at the sound of your cry. When he hears, he shall answer you. Though Yahweh gave you bread of adversity and water of affliction, your teacher shall no longer be hidden, but your eyes shall see your teacher, and your ears hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Whenever you turn to the right, or whenever you turn to the left. And you shall defile the covering of your graven images of silver, and the plating of your molded images of gold. You shall throw them away as a menstrual cloth, and say to them,
No.
be gone.
Ew. Sorry. Oh, a menstrual cloth is a ill is a douche rag. That they had that. Okay, that just took me off guard. Sorry. And he shall give you the rain for your seed which you sow the ground, and bread of the increase of the earth. And it shall be fat and rich, and your cattle graze in a large pasture in that day. And the oxen and the young donkey that work the ground eat seasoned fodder winnowed with shovel and fan. On every high mountain and on every high hill there shall be rivers and streams of water in the day of great killing, where the towers fall. And the lights of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, and the light of 7 days, and the day that Yahweh binds up the breach of his people, and heals the wounds of his blows. Excuse me. See the name See, the name of Yahweh is coming from afar, burning with his wrath and heavy smoke. His lips shall be filled with rage. His tongue be as a devouring fire. His breath shall be as overflowing stream, which reaches up to the neck, to sift the nations with sleeves of falsehood and a misleading bridle on the jaws of people. Let the songs be to you as in a night set apart for a festival, and the gladness of hearts as he who is going with a flute, to come into the mountains of Yahweh, the rock of Israel. And Yahweh shall cause his excellent voice to be heard, and show the coming down of his arm, with raging wrath and the flame of consuming fire, with scattering, downpour, and hailstones. For though the voice of Yahweh Asherah is broken down, with a rod he strikes, and every passage of the ordained staff which Yahweh lays on him shall be with tambourines and lyres, when he shall fight with it, and battle with brandishing arm. For Tophet was ordained of old, even the sovereign it has been prepared. He has made it deep and large. Its fire pit, much wood, the breath of Yahweh, as a stream of burning sulfur, is burning it. Goodness gracious. That's a crazy visual.
That was super deep.
Super deep. You could tell that's all in the spirit realm. When these metaphors hit, they're talking spirit realm because they need to protect it with how it's going to happen. So they're giving it to us, but then protecting it too. So now it'll be stuff like, for instance, I'm not saying this is what it is, and I want to point out something else too. But like in Yeshayu, Isaiah the 30th chapter, verse 26, right? It says, "And the light of the moon shall be the light of the sun, and the light of the sun be sevenfold, as the light of 7 days. And the days Yahweh binds up the breach of his people, and the heals of his wound, and healed the wounds of his bows." So the light of the moon means something. The light of the sun means something. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how we got to get, like, that's when we start reading the Apocrypha, it ties in. And so much so, this thing is great, at least my second point. Like, you see in, go up to verse 20. If you guys are holding the app version of this, right? You see how there's those that rectangle with the three squares, the
The three
select buttons,
dots.
I guess. Three dots, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you start clicking those, it ties to other parts. Like right, this ties to Joel. You know what I'm saying? The second
Yeah.
chapter, the 23rd verse. So these are how like you could start to break that code. So there's people that already got that code and they know it better than you. But remember what we talked about? Like, okay, go back to like, all right, go back to like, let's say verse 1, right? Woe to the stubborn children, declare Yahweh, to make counsel, but not from me, and to devise plans, but not of my spirit, in order to add sin to sin. Right? So they know this stuff, but they know where their connection is. So like they would talk about, some people would say Oshun, right? Oshun is the same person as Thor. But in African cultures, they say Oshun. In Nordic cultures, they say Thor. That then they change that. That's Hatma. No, not Hatma. I can't remember the deity, the Indian deity name. But that's the same person, right? So now, when we get it to make us marvel, they'll give us Iron Man, and they'll give us Thor. The same person as Oshun, Thor, whatever it is, because they're smart one day. Thor is an iron wield. He makes metallurgists. It's like Oshun. Then they got like a water goddess, right? So that goes into, okay, there were beings or unclean spirits from the sea. So all of these knowledge, that data, that information about these type of beings is not from the Most High. You shouldn't even know. It's forbidden. But once you tap into it, it's like the Pandora's box, right? All of that jumps into you. And it's harder for it to be cleaned off of you. Because the hardest thing for you to be able to do once these spirits are on you is to apologize, right? It's to repent. Because you'll be too much into yourself that, man, I ain't doing that. And Bump saying sorry to Big for being wrong that day. He know I'm his uncle. I used to wipe his tail. Man, Bump going to talk to Pooh. I'ma just take this. He can't see me anyway. Right? You start to get. I look at Uncle Marvin. Let's look at Uncle Marvin. As much as his family loves him and want him to be there, he has to keep feeding those energies not to come here. Because the moment the energy stops and he humbles and he just say, I'm sorry, he's going to get the love of the whole family and his brand new child that's coming into the world. All he has to say, I'm sorry. Uncle Marvin comes up to you right now, guys, and say, hey, I'm sorry, man. I love y'all. I was out of my mind. Can I come back? Or y'all want to go somewhere to eat? Y'all going to say no? I know I can't say no. You know me. I'm getting older now. The spirit might move me. I might start crying in front of y'all. You're going to have to be like, damn, Big. I'm going to be like, oh, man, he's doing it again. Pooh going to have to act like I ain't his dad. It's going to be horrible that day, but I'm going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm going to fall on him. I mean, like, Big, I'm not supposed to hug you, Big. You're too old for that. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hug you, man. I'm just touching your belly button. Big, get your belly button on my neck. But I can't help it. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just gotta hold you. I see Pooh not the affectionate type. I gotta. We create a handshake for me.
Oh yeah, I just don't show it.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy once you get
I'm a nice guy once you get to know me.
Once you get to know me. He said, but that's like, these are the things like we're looking at. Like, it's that simple, but it's hard. Yo, scripture was hard for me to read thinking, man, when I got a Yahshua, what he do? He didn't even fight nobody. He just turned over tables one day. Telling people, I can tell people I live too. I sacrifice. Now, here's my sacrifice. I go find a being that's meant to be my helpmeet, and I'm thinking I'm sacrificing for her. I put her in a position where I gotta be her hero because I want to feed my ego. I go find needy chicks because I want to feed my ego. And the Most High just laughing at me like, you gonna see. Run up against a shorty boy, you gonna see. And guess what? The needy chick needs more than I can give, or doesn't need me no more. Right? The people that I thought was fearful, like I used to bully, they're not scared of me no more. What are we gonna do now? I had all this knowledge. I understood all this Himotep, Motep, 5%, Mecca, all of that. I had all that knowledge, and I can't even do nothing with it. The person that got me, I think is the funniest to me, right? And I'm calling it out, I think the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the most funniest leader I've ever seen in my life, right? Because it's like, you're supposed to be big and bad, but you got no teeth. You've been castrated. and all you could do is talk. So much so they took you off of social media, which is your enemy's unit of communication, and you all you could do is cry about it and talk to your ministers to go cry for you. So what that means the powers that be is tired of dealing with you. They want to find a new person for you to control. Remember what they said? They said the one. Well, I'm gonna go there. I'm not gonna make it up. I'm gonna look for it because yes, they are in nine that this is a rebellious people, lying children. Children refuse to hear the Torah of Yahweh, the laws. They refuse to hear it. They know it. I'm gonna tell you. It says like one will lead a nation. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, that's not it. Where you at? Did I go over it? Where you at? I passed it. Or was it in the other? Could have been in the other one. Hold on. Okay, here it goes. Sorry, it's right here. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Caught it. It says, verse 17, it says, 1,000 flee at the rebuke of one. And at the rebuke of five, you shall flee until you are left as people on top of a mountain and as a sign on a hill. Yo, yeah. They could have one person now get you. One celebrity, one spokesperson, one Shaq, one Michael Jordan, one whatever, take the rest of you off. They learned that it's still here. Flee at the rebuke of one, and at the rebuke of five, you should flee to your left. Yeah, that's all I got.
And scene.
This guy. This guy.
Nah, but I got something to say.
Please,
Oh,
man. We gotta hear from you, sir.
Unseen. Open it back up. And action.
Alright, man. No, I don't know if I was a good brother to you or not. But I just want to say sorry if I wasn't. But I know I would love you better. I need to love my family way better than I have.
Seriously. Alright.
Hallelujah, big. You trying to melt me, man. You almost got me, man. You snuck that one in, big. Ah, you sneaky one, big. That was sneaky. Yeah, that was good. That was sneaky. That was sneaky. Oh, that was sneaky. That was a good one. Hallelujah. Shoot, 30 words or
It's
less.
it. It's alright though. I never considered you as a bad brother.
Just making sure. I just know I could
I'll
have
just,
been better.
I'll just your way of showing affection.
Mm.
Everyone's different. No one's the same.
Facts.
Hallelujah. Wow, what I just witnessed. Hallelujah. That was dope. I prayed for that with me and Uncle Marvin, boy. I'll make up something to apologize for. I was like, when we were three. And you were six. I was like, hey, I'm a $5. I was like, I'm $5. That's a great prelude. That was dope. Now, that's a dope way to end it. Hey, listen, y'all know me. I was fucking up my whole Uncle Tom, my whole Daddy Tom. Even my brother had a brother. I didn't mean it. I did it out of love. It's all love there. And it's crazy because big is something for you, really. They say this to us in the military. You don't know how to be a good um, specialist until you become a sergeant, right? You don't know how to be a good sergeant until you become a sergeant major. So like you don't know what it is to, you know what I'm saying, until you in that, you won't know what it is to be a good sibling until you're a parent. If that makes sense, right? Because you won't have that measure in your personal life. Like when Mima talked to me about like, yeah, I don't have no favorites. I love y'all the same. I'm like, you gotta have a favorite, right? I see what she mean now. Like I can't say I
Doesn't
love
have a
Pooh more than.
favorite? Impossible.
He said, cut that out. He said, cut that. We go like, Dad. I'm like, I didn't say it. Pooh said it. Anyways, yeah, but like you can love a child, you can love differently. Like your mom loved Chinky, but she loved you differently. You know what I'm saying? Like Pooh's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you don't get that experience until you get that experience, right? You don't know if your girl is the best girlfriend in the world. How do you know? You haven't dated other girls, right? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, to be clear, I know the Most High is for me is the best, right? Because I had a chance to take a shahada. I went through the Israelite thing. I mean, not the Israelite. I went through the Muslims path, right? So much so I was like, yo, why are we doing the fake Muslim thing here, and why not do the real thing? So, and then the real thing was like, yo, you have like Shia, Sunni, right? You know what I'm saying? And then when I started reading the Torah, they talk about Yahshua more than anybody. The Torah, Yahshua is filled in the Torah. So I'm like, why am I getting the secondhand source? Why not go to the real? Right? I don't, that Hare Krishna, it don't talk to me. It don't talk to my spirit. I can't do that. The Vishnu, what else was it? The yoga, that the seven things up your spinal cord, that felt weird. It made me feel like there was a weird gay spirit on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want things up my back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean I don't. I mean I want to focus on that energy, right? Like
I think I
so
want my
it
back
was
is close.
right, exactly. My backside's for X-ray only. But like, so like, they were saying things like the streets, the wild. These dudes, like, when you understand the children of, it get deep. The children of Ham, right? You know what I'm saying? They wanted to run around and be like city. The children of Cain, excuse me, they wanted to just be like cities anyway. They was looking for these spirits to jump into them. You feel me? Like they were like, take me. You know what I mean? So like when they talk about Mithraim and they talk about Assyria or Ashur, that's all the same like Babylon and different variations of it, right? One is running with this spirit of Jezebel, and the other one's running with these multi fallen angels. That's what it was. They were fallen angels. They came up and had these beings. That's why people talk about Hercules and all that other stuff. But that's who they were. Let's be clear. These the Nephilim, they were tough. They could hurt and harm a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? And they were powerful beings. So when we come up with our stories, when they talk about Asmodeus and this and that third, they change it in seven deadly sins to make them look cute. We can make them look like how they really were supposed to look. But we've got to be careful because they were really like, and I know people now they're not too marvel and shocked by when they see dragon faces, even the skins you guys got on different games. But and if you were to see that in real life, well, you probably fall out. But yo, with that being said, and this was Saturdays in the books. This was a dope one. It was fired up. At least
Facts.
I was fired up.
Seven,
Can't
seven,
tell with
seven,
you guys.
seven, 11, 11.
7-11.